Hey guys, Rookie Lock here, back once again. I hope everyone's having a great day as always. And I think I got a pretty cool video for you guys today. It's going to be taking a close look at this Medico here. Not a picking video, but I still think most of you guys will find this pretty interesting. So yeah, I think you guys know I recently got this from Chris as a huge challenge. Didn't come with a key, which is basically why I asked for it. First of all, I don't want to bug Chris for all his good locks, and second of all, I wanted a challenge. And that's exactly what I got here. Almost bit off more than I can chew, but I was able to swallow it, for lack of better words. I did not bite off more than I can chew. So I got it picked, and I made a key for it, and I'll show you that here in a second. And even as I look at this now, it blows me away that I was able to get this picked. Might never get it on video, but I can assure you, and if not, ask Chris, it came with no key, so I did get into it. Yeah, that's pretty gnarly bidding there. This is a pin up here, by the way, and I still can't believe that I was able to get this. And getting this lock picked is kind of just half of the fun. This is one of the most over-engineered and unassuming locks that I think there is. Over-engineered in the way it's disassembled, which I will show right now. You can see here that actually I should add, Steel Pinnings did a video on how to disassemble this, and without that video I would be still scratching my head. This is one of those locks, if you don't see how it's done or have instructions on how it's done, I don't think you'll ever get the freaking thing apart. Where, you know, you get, I don't know, anything. Lock like this lock would, you look at it, you pop the shackle, and yeah, there's a screw down there. And, you know what I mean? You don't have to, you could figure it out yourself. This one here, not so much. Someone needs to tell you how to do it, or you need to find the instructions, because it's pretty crazy. So this shackle drain hole, you actually go through with a 1/16 inch hex wrench, and there is a grub screw at the bottom of the shackle, in the bottom of the shackle. So we'll loosen that up all the way. We'll take it right out. And that's basically step one. I think that's got to be out. And where's our key that I made? Again. I will add too, this is the third key attempt. I'll talk more about that once I open this up. So the shackle's out, and I'll show you how it's retained, which is just genius. So this is the screw that goes in the bottom, and once it's tightened down, you can see it pushes this ball bearing over the surface, which locks it in the hole there. As you can see, it won't go in because it's proud. That alone is like, this is the coolest shackle ever, the most overthought shackles. Even this is an earlier lock. Even down the road, they thought of a better way to do it. Hey, we don't need to friggin', you know what I mean, put this there and have a locking screw. Just, you know what I mean, put it offset so the shackle holds it closed instead of all this crazy mechanism. So, yeah, not the smartest, way over engineered, way, like, this is an expensive lock to manufacture. Anyway, I love it. It's crazy. So we got that shackle out. We can, and remember, I did this all without a key when I first had it. So we take the ball bearing out. There should be a spring under it, which there is. Now is the interesting part. There's, how could I explain this? This lock has 3 ball bearings, one for each side of the shackle, and one that holds in this plate here. To get that one in the plate out, we turn it upside down like this, and we can turn the key and kind of push on the plate a little bit, give it a couple little smacks, and that third ball bearing will come out. Let's see if I can readjust and get a better view of everything for you guys. So the shackle for the, let's call it the right side of the shackle, or sorry, left side of the shackle is still there. The open side of the shackle, this side here, and it can stay there. Now that that third ball is out, which we'll call it the third ball, this top plate comes out, and I'll show you how this all works. So as you can see, there's a little ball shaped cutout here. When we put in the third ball, well, it's going to be hard to see, but when we put in the third ball and we open up the lock, unlock it, that ball will fall through, and that, you can imagine how it would be sort of in this position here, and that would lock in, you know what I mean? That would lock in the cap here. I'm sure you guys have enough of an imagination to figure out how that would work. So yeah, when you take it out, you're again opening up the gap. Your other ball bearing is already out, so that third ball, let's call it, the ball for the cap, can fall out. So yeah, from there, it's pretty straightforward after you get this out. This, I guess we'll call it the actuator, comes out, it's spring loaded, and you gotta take note of this. I wish the lighting was better today. There's a spring in there, and you can see the, let's take that spring out. Can be kind of tricky. So this side of the spring goes on the left side. There's a little hole in there for it, and the leg of the spring goes into this little hole here, but you have to preload the spring 1/2 turn before you drop this down in place, and I think I'll show that afterwards, hopefully, but I'm sure you guys can all figure out how that would work. So here we go, a driverless core, not driverless cam, but a driverless Medico core. Do not know why they chose to use a core like this in this lock. I'm sure they had their reasons. But there you go, the sidebar is pinned in place. And so this is a lot, and I mean, wait until you see the pins, which I guess I'll take out. I kind of have to now. This is a lot, and like I said, I mean a lot, like a bylock. You could easily imagine a bylock with angled cuts and 12 pins and 2 sidebars after seeing what's in here, which I hate taking this thing off, but for the sake of my viewers, I love you guys. I just hope I can do it without messing up any springs. Oh, hope I can do it and give you guys a decent view of it too. Really don't want to screw up any springs. Kinda already did. I'd rather screw this plate up than any springs, but kinda messed up one, but it's okay. Number 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, when I first got this and I was picking it, I knew it was a driverless lock. So in my mind I had pictured what the pins would look like. I thought they would be pins like you would see in a Medico Metro lock, which I'll leave a link to a video Tumblr did in the description, and he shows those pins really well. So I thought it would be pins like those. And I'm not saying that they're easy pins, but I think they would be quite a bit easier than these ones to pick. Sorry guys. These pins are all full of fluid film. So check these out. I think this is the coolest thing ever. Don't these pins have padlock written all over it? I mean, come on. You can't disagree with me, right? They're chiseled. They don't have a slot in them that keeps them from not rotating with the sidebar, but come on. This is crazy. So you could easily imagine a padlock with 2 rows of rotating pins like this. And in fact, there is a company that does make something like that. I can't find any info on it though, but I've heard through a pretty knowledgeable guy that it is made. There is a lock that has 2 rows of rotating pins and 2 sidebars. I don't know if they've paid Medico for it, but if Medico knew, I'm sure that they would sue them. So yeah, what do you think about that? Isn't that something? Each one has a false gate, and some of the false gates aren't in the same plane as the true gate. So some of the falses are above the true gate, which would be a nightmare oversetting. And yeah. That's weird, looking through the camera and trying to do stuff. Yeah, just a reminder. Let's put it this way. Pin 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Still can't believe I got it open, but this was a very, very rewarding lock to get open. And like I said, picking it was half the fun. The gutting was pretty cool too. And like I said, I was lucky when I picked it. I took the shackle out right away, so the shackle was gone, but I relocked the lock by accident because it's spring loaded. And I thought I would have to pick it again, but I actually found out a way to get it gutted without having to pick it again since the shackle was already out. So I'm going to kind of semi-put it back together. I'm not going to put the pins in because it's going to take too long. But, or I could fast forward it. Tell you what, I'm going to come back once I have everything put back together. That'll make it a bit easier, and I'll be able to explain the reassembly as well. Alright, stand by guys. Alrighty, so we got our top piece back on. I will say that it was a bit harder to get it back on the second time because I'm kind of losing material to smash down there. So basically what I try to do, I try to bend it, try to fold it along its long side, so you know what I mean, bent like this. Then when you push it down and you take a screwdriver, for example, pretend this has no tip on it. Oh. You put this on there, you hit it with the hammer so it smashes out, you know what I mean, it flattens it out, and your edges go into this. It's basically a really tiny, shallow dovetail. So once that's done, check your key again. Make sure the sidebar depresses, which of course it does. And now there's nothing stopping us from just slipping this back in the lock. It only goes in one way. There's a sidebar groove there, and you can obviously put the lock in when it's locked, of course. There'd be no way to do it with a key, so yeah, that sidebar is on that side, and it just, like I said, just drops right in. Next, we put this little shim. Again, only goes in one way. It's hard to catch this stuff on camera. Let's try to get some more light, because the next parts are I kind of want you to be able to see. So at this point, we put in the ball bearing on the non-retained side of the shackle. So when you look at the Medico on the left, it goes down here, and it'll stay like that. Now, it gets a little bit tricky. So this leg of our spring goes into a little hole down there that I think I'm pretty certain you can see. So that goes in there, and you know, if it sits in, you got the leg in the hole. Next part is the tricky part. You got to get this leg in that hole, and if you just drop this in like that, it won't go in. So what I do, I lift this up, put my pick under. Hopefully you can see the leg. See the leg sticking up? And we try to get that hole matched up with this. I'm just going to look over the camera here for a second. And this may take a couple tries. And I believe we got it. So at this point, don't just put it into place. That's not the proper location. At this point, you lift it out of the bottom of the core, or the back of the core. You turn it, give that spring a bit of preload, and then it'll drop in, and that's the position it goes in right there. So that point you can drop in your spring, and we can put our cap in. Nothing holding it at this point, but once we put our key in and put our ball, and I should add too that Steel Pinnings, when he did his, he said the ball that belongs in here, not the locking ones, but the one that sits in here, was a little bit smaller. All my ball bearings are the same size, so it doesn't matter which one I take. I don't know, maybe other lock models may be different, but on this one all the balls are the same size. So you can see here how it just disappeared, and now this spring will come out, but this plate will not come out until we turn it upside down, turn the key over, push on there, and that ball comes out. So that's how it's disassembled. So now the ball is in that slot. Give it a turn, jiggle, push, and it's in its retained place where it retains this this cap, and then we're pretty much done. We put our spring in, we put our other ball bearing in, which we'll just leave it right there for now, and we can prep our shackle. Oh, I already put the screw back in, but we're gonna loosen it off to where it just is barely retained, because if not, we're gonna have a hell of a hard time finding it with our Allen key. So now we put this in, push our shackle, lock it up, and sorry about the shitty camera work, guys. It's kind of tricky. Now we find that Allen key with our 1/16th, sorry, we find that set screw with our 1/16th Allen, which, believe it or not, it's kind of tricky for some reason. Did I put it the right way? We did. Let's just double check. It's still there. So, try this again. Okay, there we are. Tighten that up. Don't have to ham fist it and torque it down to something crazy, but tighten it up, and now we have a working padlock again. Bit of a long video, but I thought it was worth it to show you guys. I really find this is a pretty damn neat lock. Pretty over-engineered. Like I said, later down the road they, I think, made this one, and it's pretty much, well, it is toolless to take the core out anyway. The only thing that holds this plate in is the shackle when it's closed. You can just turn it. There's a little ball bearing there under spring, and it, once it lines up with that slot, you know it can pop out, and then you can take the core out without any tools, except for, well, you need a C-clip remover to remove the, take apart the cylinder. But two total opposites, like very simple, very complicated, and over-engineered. But yeah, really cool lock. So happy I was able to make a key for it. And I totally forgot to mention, it was tricky to make a key for because you're not slowly filing a key down and watching, you know what I mean, testing it and watching the pin go to shear. You can't see the pin, so you're testing with the sidebar. You can see the rotation of it, but you can't see when it's flush with the peg of the sidebar, so it takes a lot of testing. And I'm surprised I got this key working really good. In fact, this key works better than the keys I have for my S&G. Yeah, I'd love to get a new core for that someday, or some pins or something. But anyway, really happy with this. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. As always, any questions, don't be shy to ask. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We'll continue our next video on the S&G. I'll make a key for this one. Again, guys, I appreciate you all watching and sticking with me. Like I said, it's what keeps me going. And yeah, like I said, don't be shy to comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.